What is Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's is a progressive and irreversible brain disorder that slowly destroys memory skills, language skills, and thinking ability. Over time, it robs individuals of their independence, even making simple daily tasks impossible. In its final stages, the brain is so severely damaged that patients often require full-time care. It is one of the leading causes of death among older adults. The disease usually develops gradually, beginning with mild forgetfulness that many people may dismiss as normal aging. But as Alzheimer's progresses, symptoms become more severe, eventually impacting every aspect of daily life. On average, individuals with Alzheimer's live about 8 to 10 years after symptoms first appear. However, with early detection and proper care, some people may live much longer. The progression of the disease varies from person to person. Some decline rapidly, while others experience a slower course. Although the exact cause of Alzheimer's remains unknown and is not always linked to genetics, having a family history of the disease increases your risk. In fact, the chance of developing Alzheimer's doubles every 5 years after the age of 65. That's why awareness, early detection, and support are so critical. Alzheimer's doesn't just affect memory, it changes lives. 10 warning signs you should never ignore. Forgetfulness is common, but when memory problems start to interfere with your daily life, it's not just old age. It could be something far more serious. One of the earliest signs of Alzheimer's disease, a progressive, fatal brain disorder, is not just forgetting names or misplacing keys. It's the slow but steady breakdown of memory, reasoning, and the ability to think clearly. And here's the truth. Alzheimer's doesn't strike overnight. It creeps in quietly, stealing moments, clarity, and eventually, independence. What makes it more dangerous is that many people dismiss the early signs as normal aging. But make no mistake, memory loss that disrupts daily life is not normal, and early detection can make a life-changing difference. Each person with Alzheimer's may show different symptoms and progress at different speeds, but there are 10 key warning signs that should never be overlooked. These signs might appear mild at first, but they can signal something far more serious going on inside the brain. Whether it's struggling to find the right words, getting lost on familiar routes, repeating questions, or forgetting how to complete everyday tasks, you must take it seriously. If you notice even one or two of these signs in yourself or someone you love, don't wait. See a doctor. Get evaluated. Ask questions. Because when it comes to Alzheimer's, early awareness isn't just helpful, it's powerful. It can open the door to treatment, care planning, and even slow down the decline. Your brain deserves your attention before it's too late.
1. When memory loss disrupts daily life. It might be more than aging. One of the most common early signs of Alzheimer's disease is memory loss that interferes with everyday life, especially forgetting newly learned information. It's more than just misplacing your keys or occasionally drawing a blank on someone's name. People with Alzheimer's may forget important dates or events, ask for the same information over and over, or rely more heavily on memory aids like notes, calendars, or even loved ones to handle tasks they used to manage on their own. It's important to recognize the difference between normal aging and a potential sign of something more serious. Sure, forgetting a name or missing an appointment once in a while happens to everyone. But if you or someone close to you can't recall that information later, that's a red flag worth paying attention to. 2. Struggling to plan or solve problems? It could be a warning sign. One early sign of Alzheimer's that often goes unnoticed is difficulty with planning or problem solving, especially with tasks that used to come easily. You might notice someone having trouble following a familiar recipe, managing monthly bills, or keeping track of numbers in a simple budget. Even everyday responsibilities like scheduling appointments or organizing a grocery list can suddenly feel overwhelming. They may take longer to complete routine tasks or seem unusually distracted or frustrated. It's not just forgetfulness, it's a shift in how the brain processes and handles information. And it's often one of the first indicators that something deeper is going on.
3. Struggling with everyday tasks, it might be more than aging. For someone in the early stages of Alzheimer's, even familiar daily tasks can suddenly become confusing or overwhelming. Things they once did effortlessly, like driving to a regular destination, managing a work budget, or remembering the rules of their favorite card game, may now feel unfamiliar. They might stop mid-task, unsure of what comes next, or need frequent reminders for steps they used to know by heart. It's not just about being forgetful, it's about losing the ability to complete routine activities that once felt automatic. And when that starts to interfere with home life, work, or leisure, it's time to pay attention. Of course, everyone occasionally needs help setting the microwave timer or figuring out the remote. That's normal aging. But when once simple tasks become daily challenges, it's a sign that something deeper may be happening. 4. Confused about time or place? Don't ignore the signs. Losing track of time happens to everyone, but for someone with Alzheimer's, it goes beyond forgetting what day it is. They may forget the current season, the year, or even where they are. It's not unusual for them to feel disoriented in familiar places or be unsure how they got there. Moments that don't happen immediately can be especially hard to understand, like waiting for an event or remembering why they came into a room. This type of confusion isn't just a simple lapse, it reflects deeper changes in the brain's ability to process time and space. For example, someone might walk to the store but forget why they went, or wake up at night and think it's morning. These moments can feel scary and isolating, both for the person and their loved ones. Yes, occasionally forgetting the day of the week and remembering it later is normal. But when someone consistently loses their sense of time or place, it's a warning sign. 5. Trouble with visuals or spatial awareness? It could be more than just your eyes. For some people, one of the earliest signs of Alzheimer's isn't memory loss, it's vision problems. They may struggle to read a book, judge distances while walking or driving, or even have trouble recognizing colors or contrast. These difficulties go beyond needing reading glasses. They can cause serious safety issues, especially behind the wheel. Sure, aging naturally brings some vision changes, like those caused by cataracts. But when someone starts bumping into things, missing turns, or hesitating to drive because they don't trust what they're seeing, it's time to take a closer look. Don't assume it's just poor eyesight. When your world starts to look unfamiliar or distorted, your brain may be the one struggling, not your eyes. Recognizing these signs early can help prevent accidents and open the door to timely support. 6. New struggles with words? It might be more than just getting older. Everyone forgets a word now and then, but for someone in the early stages of Alzheimer's, language can become a daily challenge. They may pause in the middle of a conversation and suddenly not know how to continue. Or they might repeat themselves without realizing it. Finding the right word becomes frustrating. Sometimes they'll describe something instead of naming it, or confuse common items like calling a wall clock a wristwatch. It's not just about forgetting big or unusual words. It's about losing access to everyday vocabulary that once came naturally. These moments can make conversations awkward or even embarrassing, which often leads people to withdraw from social situations. Sure, it's normal to occasionally struggle to find the right word, but when word loss becomes frequent, disruptive, or confusing, it's time to pay attention. Communication is a key function of the brain. When it starts to break down, it's a sign you shouldn't ignore.
7. Misplacing items and forgetting the steps to find them?
Don't overlook this sign. We all misplace things now and then. Your keys end up in the fridge or your glasses are on your head. But for someone with Alzheimer's, it goes a step further. They may regularly put items in strange places, like leaving the remote in the pantry or putting shoes in the bathroom cabinet. What's more concerning is that they often can't retrace their steps to figure out where they left something. The object is gone, and the memory of where or why is too. As frustration builds, they might even accuse others of stealing, because from their perspective, the item didn't just get lost, it disappeared. While it's perfectly normal to misplace things occasionally and remember later where you put them, frequent confusion about lost items and the inability to backtrack is a red flag. This behavior often starts small but becomes more common as memory declines. 8. Poor judgment or risky decisions? It could be a sign of something deeper. Everyone makes a bad call once in a while, but when someone starts showing consistently poor judgment, especially in ways that are unusual for them, it could be an early sign of Alzheimer's. People in the early stages of the disease may struggle with decision-making. For example, they might hand over large sums of money to telemarketers, fall for obvious scams, or ignore bills piling up. Simple choices like what to wear or when to bathe can become neglected. You might notice they dress inappropriately for the weather or go days without changing clothes or showering. It's not just forgetfulness, it's a breakdown in the brain's ability to assess what's reasonable, safe, or appropriate. And over time, these lapses can lead to financial trouble, health risks, or social isolation. 9. Pulling away from work or social life? It might be more than just feeling tired. It's normal to feel burned out or uninterested in social events from time to time. But when someone starts to withdraw from work, hobbies, or activities they once enjoyed, especially without a clear reason, it could be a red flag. People in the early stages of Alzheimer's may lose interest in their favorite hobbies, stop participating in group activities, or avoid social gatherings altogether. They might no longer follow their favorite sports team or forget how to do a craft or game they once loved. Sometimes it's because they feel embarrassed about their memory lapses, or they simply don't have the mental energy to keep up. Yes, it's completely normal to want alone time once in a while, but when withdrawal becomes a pattern, especially from things they used to love, it deserves attention. Social and mental engagement are vital for brain health. 10. Mood swings and personality changes? Don't ignore the shift. As we age, it's normal to get a little cranky when routines are interrupted. But when someone starts showing sudden shifts in mood or personality, it could be more than just aging. It might be an early sign of Alzheimer's. People with Alzheimer's may become unusually confused, suspicious, anxious, or even depressed, often without a clear reason. You might notice they get easily upset at home, at work, or in unfamiliar settings. A once outgoing person may become withdrawn. Someone who was calm and patient might now seem angry or fearful. Yes, everyone gets irritable now and then, especially when routines are disrupted. But if you notice a clear, consistent shift in someone's mood or behavior, don't brush it off.
Your brain matters. Let's take care of it, together. Next, we will learn about how to treat Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's dementia tends to get worse, and there is no cure. Therefore, the main goal of treatment is to slow down the progression of the disease, help improve life, and reduce negative effects on the patient. In addition, the treatment process will combine oral medications, diet, and daily activities to maintain the disease in the best condition. First is drug treatment. Drugs that slow down the progression of the disease, such as anticholinesterase drugs or memantine, an M-methyl D-aspartate receptor antagonist. Drugs to treat the symptoms of the disease, treat insomnia, control behavior, antipsychotics, etc. Drugs to treat other accompanying diseases, if any. Second, there must be a care regimen for people with Alzheimer's disease, because Alzheimer's patients often cannot control their daily behaviors. In particular, when the disease reaches a severe stage, the patient cannot take care of himself and needs the support of those around him. Therefore, caregivers of Alzheimer's patients need to pay attention to the following issues. We must always pay attention and create a safe living environment, ensuring that the patient stays away from objects that can be dangerous to the patient and those around him. Caregivers often talk to the patient, create joy, be friends, and ensure the patient's safety. Support patients in terms of memory, talk with them and do daily personal activities together. Support exercise together and guide patients to exercise healthily and regularly. In cases where the patient cannot move, they need help changing their lying position regularly so that the patient does not get tired and keeps their body clean. Third is a scientific diet and daily activities for people with Alzheimer's disease. In addition to the daily meals, add more vegetables, tubers, and fruits that are good for people with Alzheimer's disease. Do not eat a lot of greasy foods, do not drink alcoholic beverages such as beer or wine, and absolutely do not smoke. Supplement with vitamins E, C, folic acid, etc. from natural foods such as vegetables, seeds, and foods rich in protein. Regularly exercise gently and regularly. Guide patients to participate in intellectually stimulating activities, such as reading, solving puzzles, humor about content that adults like to watch, or other social activities. Early detection and treatment of Alzheimer's disease will limit the negative effects on daily life. Therefore, you need to build a healthy lifestyle for yourself. Have regular checkups to maintain your physical condition in the best condition.
Your brain has carried you for over 60 years. Maybe it's time to return the favor. Think about it. Your brain has been with you through everything. Every decision, every memory, every moment of love, challenge, and joy. After 6 decades or more, it deserves your care, your attention, and your kindness. If this video helped you understand even a little more about how to protect your memory and your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about, because sometimes just one early warning, one gentle reminder, can change the course of someone's life. And if you're ready to stay informed, supported, and proactive about your brain health, subscribe to the channel. Every week, we bring you science-backed, easy-to-follow tips to help you age with clarity, confidence, and dignity. Because caring for your memory isn't just about remembering things. It's about preserving your independence and holding on to the life you've worked so hard to build.